Okay, me again. It's Craig Thompson here. Yes, well, today in Tonks Tips, I'm going to hook the old Toyota up to the van and back her up here on the short grass because I want to mow there. And today's little thing is I don't know if you'll be able to see in there. There's U-bolts. These are only mild steel. I've never had any trouble with them over the years, but next year with a bit of luck, I'm hoping we can go up the Give River, and apparently it's notorious, even though my dad had a van just like this and the same sort of setup, same U-bolt, same springs years ago. He went up there no trouble at all. But I'm going to change them out, and I've been looking for a long time online and talking to people. Went down to my local parts place, and they couldn't get me any. But I was online and I looked up, I found this mob called Trailer Spares Direct, and they sell these. A load force U-bolt, test rated U-bolt, 1045 grade tensile steel, high strength fine thread for caravans. And see how they got the, well, I'll pull that out of the bag. Yeah, them suckers. And I'm going to try these. They're supposed to be about as strong again as the mild steel. These are actually mild steel, but they're just a bit of carbon in them just to toughen them up a bit. A little bit better shock load. That's the only trouble I don't like about them, is just when you get them done up to the right spot, and you know, if you've been working with bolts and tighten them over the years, just as you get them up to that right spot and you just want to put that bit on them, they actually feel like you're going to snap the bolt off. And the biggest trouble is with them over the years is you get those suckers, and as soon as you get them and tighten them down, see how it's only what, 10mm plate? They bend like that one. See how it's been on before? And you start to tighten him down to get a bit of decent pressure on him, and that plate bends. So what I've done is I've done two of these plates together. I put two on. So I'm going to pull them out, and I'm going to spot weld them together. Even though there's two in there now. I had no trouble when we went to the Cape last year. We went up to the tip and back, and it was pretty corrugated. Nothing extreme, but like it was bloody in the 1982 when I went up there. But all right, catch ya. I'll hook the van up, and then you'll see me pull them off. Now all you'll need is a shifter, 6-inch one. No, sorry, 7-inch one, and a set of tools, set of sockets. They're just old king chrome ones I've had for years. But like I was saying before, I've got to get under here, and I've got to undo those U-bolts just there and over there. I'm just going to take them out, and I'm going to mark those plates, the two plates just here. You might be able to see them, I'm not sure. And I'm going to mark these two, and when I get them out, I'm going to spot weld them together along the sides. Because that's the biggest thing, those plates bending and your bloody springs come a bit loose. Then they do stupid things like jump out of here, and the wheel flies back. Or they just snap off here. A lot of times they snap just there, right where the thread joins the bolt. And then you lose a lot. So I'm just taking a bit of a precaution and going a bit heavier duty. So yeah, that plate there. We've got to take these forks, because I lock nut them, see? I'm not a great fan of Nylux nuts. Up here too, I even lock nut these. Those things there, lock nut them. Any bolts that are on this van, look at that, see, even here, on these plates here, double lock nut them. Nylux nuts just come loose. Anywhere on those corrugated roads, or decent corrugated roads, see, there's double lock nutted. So you can see then, and you can have a Nylux nut on the bottom, and then you just get the same thread and put another one on top. I'd love to go a bit heavier axle and springs and that, and bigger wheels later on, but oh, the cost of everything these days is just prohibitive, you know. It's a couple of $1,000 to convert this over. And these are military wrap. Don't know if you can see it there. They got the second leaf is wrapped around the first leaf. That saves a lot of hassles. Yeah, anyway, I'll get on to that. I'd love to have this on a stand and film it, but yeah, just got to get the shifter. I don't even know if I brought it with me. So here it is. Just going to unlock that sucker and then start doing them, undoing them. Okay, you can see there now. Yes, I'm old school. I use a stick welder, especially on this greasy old stuff. To me, MIGs are shit for this. Just straight out shit. I've been welding for over 40 years. You got grease and rust and stuff on big plate. There's nothing like a big flopping stick welder just to burn it in there, because there's that much splatter and shit comes off. All it does is clog up the bloody. Might be different with fluxless wire or gasless wire, sorry, but for just quickness I can just throw that out. There's no liners, there's nothing. Bingo, it's away. Now, because it's galvo, I'm going to have to do a bit of a run. First, it'll burn into the galvo, but one thing about a stick, you can just keep turning it up. The same, you can do that with any welder, but you've got to burn that galvo off. I'll just spot them here. Now, that's not going to be the best looking weld. I just got to get a pair of pliers so I can get hold of that. I'll be back. This is a little cheap Renegade trade tools buddy in Alberta, stick welder. Cheap as anything to pick up. 200 amper. Beautiful to weld with. Just spot him around a couple of spots because I don't want him to move because the holes are all lined up. Imagine trying to get that to work with us, with that oil on it. Because I rust-proof the car. Just turn her up a bit more. Not liking it. Yeah, just spin her one more and I think that'll be... Ooh, she's getting a bit more. I think I'll be right actually. I'll weld that down there, that one. I should have given it a wash of petrol, but I want the flopping oil in there to stop it rusting. Righto. Spin him over the other way. And watch the clamp cooking hot. He gets a good thickness. Ooh, yeah, she's a bit warm. She's not making the best contractors of that oil. Righto, change it. Change the old. Oh, I've got a couple of welding rods left. But yeah, that's what I like. The old stick welders are just so easy to. Sure, the other ones are quicker once you're doing a big heap of work. If you're just doing a little bit like I do all the time. Oh, look, that's. Now, my mate used to weld all the time years ago. If you're welding that in a confined space, you're supposed to drink a litre of milk an hour. It stops the. I've been told, stops the galvanised gas getting into your guts and poison you, apparently. How true, I don't know. I'm not a qualified welder by no means, but I've been welding, like I said, for 40 odd years, doing all my own gear. Nothing's falling apart yet. Just put that under the tap, cool it down. Okay. Get the chip hammer, knock the slag off it. That's one thing I will say about the Big and that, you don't have to do any chipping. But that's the only downside, because the time you buy gas and have gas and all the rest of it. I just love this old girl. Sit that bit of bloody slag off. Yeah, that's all she needs. Hold them together pretty good. Not the world's best welds, but all you need on that is to hold it together, make it a big thick plate. Before I put that together, I'll just leave that in the sun now, and I'll actually whack that again with some sump oil so she doesn't rust. Got a bolter back in now. Oh, look at that. I found some grade 8 high tensile rotary hoe bolts, 1/2 inch, and they screw straight on those threads. So I'm going to put them on first, then drop the locking nut one that they kept giving me down on top. And if the thread's sticking up too far, I might just chop the top off with the angle grinder. But yeah, okay, I'm just back underneath there now. Now I'm about to put them back together this side, so it come together pretty quick. I don't know if you can see that. Put a bit of light on it. In there, see how they got them flat on the bottom? They've, I don't know what they call that, forged them flat so they lay flat better on up on the, so they're flat against the flat. And yeah, they look good. They're 12.5, 1/2 inch. They look a lot stronger. I'm happy with that now. I've got that plate welded. I'll do the same on that side there, pull him out. And like I said, I'll rip those lock nuts off and put these other nuts on, and then rip them on. Alright. Yes, and I'm putting a bit of copper anti-seize grease on the threads. Okay, I'll just keep going. I've got those bolts in there. And like I said, just going to do them up with them high tensile nuts on them. Then I'm going to put those lock nuts on top, and that to me is just perfect. How good does that look? Lock nut on top of the high tensile nut on that high tensile U-bolt. Gee, that looks good. Double thick plate. I welded 2 plates together so they don't bend. That's the biggest trouble, they bend, like I was saying there in the corners, and let the tensile go off them. That just did up and didn't move. I've got to do that one that side now. Oh, I love the look of that. Double lock nuts. Yeah, now I've just got to buy a couple more plates. And but I carry a spare axle on the back here. It's 50mm box, 5 or 6mm with a stubble axle up the guts, and they're only Falcon bearings with Holden nuts. And I've got a spare set of nuts on there, and these are they're the 50mm ones. I went up and I've got them for there. Perfect, look at that. So they'll replace them if I need it. It makes you feel safe when you're travelling out back and you do an axle or bend an axle and you've got a spare one with you. I just got to wire him on a couple more spots. Hasn't shifted, never even moved when I was up the Cape, just sitting there because it's locked in against that bit of alloy. This had another spare tyre on here, but I shifted that around and changed that over to carry my 15 Yamaha. Alright, I'll get on and take the other side out. That one's done. Then I'll weld him up just the same. Then all I got to do is buy oh well, there you go, I've nearly got a set. I might have to get the slotted ones, but I just wasn't happy. These ones I've had no trouble with, but oh, I just wasn't happy if we were going up the Kimberleys or going to Gove. You know, a little bit more rougher roads. Not that it worries, because I dragged this to the Cape last year on those same U-bolts. Had no trouble. But I never like the look of them, but I do let my tyres down when I'm travelling on the dirt roads to 25. I've done for years, like everybody says. We never used to when we were back in the old days when we ran the 750 16s on split rims. We were worried about doing the sidewalls of the tyres with the steel in them, but alright, I'll get on to this other one. Yeah, like I said, these are just a world according to Tonk. This is the way I do them. Everything's tactile 506 and a bit of sump oil mixed in it to stop them rusting when you tow them up the beach, otherwise they just fall to bits. My gear's just rough but strong. Yeah, okay. That's the way I like it, rough but strong, a bit like me. Although I'm fading over the years. Right, I'll get on to this other side. It'll be just the same. Undo them, pull the new ones out, bring the plate out here, weld him up a couple of sides so he's solid. I'll check that those new U-bolts fit these other ones as spares here in a minute. Take that nut off and check it. And they did up perfect. I put these high tensile nuts on, and that one did up, and it just went through the locking nut at the top. There you go. They're not going to work, them ones. I'll have to go and get some other type. Why won't they go through? Yet they've come off that caravan or something like that van. What are those ones like? I might go and get them slotted ones. Buy 4 of them, they're not that dear. Then I've got a spare set. I'll take one of them. I won't have one of them, sorry, but one of these I'll take round and make sure he fits. Clean him up. He goes in that one. Perfect. Because this one's, he's proper. He's 12.5 mil, or nearly 13 mil. He's a bit bigger. Oh, he goes that way. Anyway, I'll get on to it. I'll work that out. Catch you in a while. Okay, this is the second one. Weld him up. It's yeah, got the other one in. So there you go. That's been welded about 3 times to get through that bloody that heavy galvo that's on it. Sometimes that's what you got to do. See, got to weld through it. Just keep burning on there till you get through that galvo. All right, heat it up, burn it off. I could have ground it off, but that just needs another tool. I got to go and get out, hook the cord up, and just do a couple of runs and it burns it off. All right, I'll put this one in. There's that one done now. Like I said, got the high tensile nuts on her, then the locking nuts that come with it. That's a perfect setup for me. Now I'll just hit that like I did over there. See, it's covered in a bit of sump oil. Well, I mix sump oil and tactile mixed together, about half and half, and then that slowly goes off. I'll give these a bit of a hit now of rust proofing. Then I'll take her for a drive on a dusty road. She needs doing along there a bit too. I might crawl up underneath there and paint a bit on her. These I'm not sponsored by these blokes. I got them online off a Brisbane mob called Trailer Spares Direct. The actual bolts are from Load Force Australia by Trailer Spares, whoever makes them. They could be the boys, they could be Trailer Spares Direct doing their own. But my old U-bolts were only 10 mil. That's all they were. These are 12.7 mil. And they're 1045 grade high tensile steel and fine to thread. So they're a bigger U-bolt by bloody nearly 3 mil and a lot stronger. So like I said, I bought these. See, there you go, that's the size of them. They're nearly as size of a bloody, they're a proper half-inch, but even a fraction bigger than half-inch. Oh yeah, don't forget, if you do these yourself, put the U-bolts on and retighten after, 200 or 300 Ks. Let them seat in again, and let them move in, and then if they nick up a bit, well they will. That was the only thing I was frightened of with these years ago, because they had a single plate, not a double, See how they bend down? And they just keep, as you tighten them, there's only going to be so much pressure you can put on that plate, and all it does is just keep bending out the road. And I've seen them bend these corners right down. So I've gone double. I've doubled them up, and oh, you could feel it straight away. It stopped it. It's more like fitting a set of Toyota ones, like on the HG75 or a 79 series, where you got the high tensile bolts that they use, U-bolts that Toyota use, and yeah, you just feel them come up and they just lock up solid this time. Beautiful setup. All right, well, hope you enjoyed that. But I think I got these. I paid $90 for the 8, so about $11.25 each delivered to me door. And for what I've seen of them so far, I'll give them a run. They're just a superior animal at the moment. The ones I use to do mine, and she's got 7 or 8 leaf, plus 2 on top. I used the 40 by 140 mil, and I went to, well, that was all the size they had, and they're spot on too. And these are 50 by 165, so they're going to go around a 50 by 50 bit of steel, plus the double plates. That's if I ever get round to using another axle. I hope I never ever use it. It's just there. I just carry it as a spare. Knocked it up out of a couple of cheap stub axles and a bit of box steel I had laying around here. It's only just to get me home or get me somewhere where I can get another axle. It's just, you see so many people. Then I've got, when I carry a complete set of, as well, I carry wheel studs and wheel nuts. And if I had to, I can interchange. These hubs will go straight on there. Because they're what you call a Delco. They got Holden inner bearing and a Falcon outer bearing. But these are a Falcon inner and outer slimline, and they'll fit those same hubs. The bearings interchange. It's the outside diameter is the same. It's just the because of the slimline allows you to slightly bigger 7/8 axle, I think. Oh, I could be wrong there. It might be even a bit bigger. Forget what measurement it is. But all right then. If you're doing any long distance travels and you got a little old Jayco you done up like this, or a little box trailer, I suggest for $11 each, get onto them boys and they get them dropped off you and put a set of decent, because that's what snaps on 90% of them when you get on the corrugated road. They either come loose or snap them U-bolts, or the spring. They'll snap the spring. So if you go into your spring works, I know it costs a few dollars, you can buy special off-road ones from Elco. They make them. They're about $200, $300 a spring. They're a good spring. They've got rebound and everything. But just there, you might be able to pick it up. But see how the second leaf goes around the first one, and that's how they you don't break springs in. You haven't got to worry about people putting chains on there and everything. Just a safety. That's called military spec. Every spring should be like that on the road, and you wouldn't have this where the axle comes back. All right. Thank you very much for watching. Catch ya.